Let's go over a couple of problems for this week's discussion quiz. And to start with, we're going to use the limit definition of the derivative to find f prime of x for this function f of x here, which if you look at it, you probably already know that the answer is going to be -5. But let's verify this by using the following formula. F prime of x is equal to the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. What I'll do in this limit definition is first put x plus h in place of all of the x's. So let's start there. We get that this is the limit as h goes to 0 of, so f of x plus h is 7 minus 5 times x plus h. So we're substituting x plus h in place of x. So 7 minus 5 times x plus h. We then subtract the function itself. I'm going to use parentheses just to indicate that we're subtracting the entire function. So we're subtracting f of x. So let's copy down f of x as 7 minus 5x, and we divide by h. What I'll do next is simplify this expression and eventually cancel the h. I'll distribute in the -5, and over here I'll distribute in the -1. So this is the limit as h goes to 0 of, so that's 7 minus 5x minus 5h minus 7 plus 5x all over h. At this point, stuff should cancel. I see we have a 7 and a -7, so I can cancel this with that. And we also have a -5x and a positive 5x, so those cancel too. If I copy down what is left over, we have the limit as h goes to 0 of, it's actually just 5h over h, and that's it. So to evaluate this limit, this is the limit as h goes to 0 of, just to copy this down again. You can cancel this h with this one. That means the denominator is simply just the number 1. I don't have to write divided by 1 anymore. In fact, I'll just copy down the limit as h goes to 0 of -5. So this is the limit as h goes to 0 of, I'll put parentheses, just be careful. This is just of the number -5. What is the limit of a constant? It is the number itself, and this is our answer here. Maybe I'll write it over again. I'll say that we found that f prime of x is equal to the number -5, and we can consider that as its own function. So that is it for this problem. In question 2, we're essentially going to show that the limit as x approaches -4 of the function f of x defined here is equal to -10. But we're going to go about it using the precise definition of the limit. That is, for this function, I want to find the largest delta greater than 0 such that if x plus 4 is less than delta, f of x plus 10 is less than epsilon. What we'll do is we'll start with this expression here. We'll put the function in place of f of x and simplify it until we see an x plus 4. So the process is we'll start with f of x plus 10 is less than epsilon. Let's just pause here for a quick second. Notice that this is not a minus, it's actually a plus 10. The reason for this is the limit is -10, and f of x minus a minus 10 is the same thing as plus 10. You can also think about this as if you were to put -10 in place of f of x, this would simplify to 0. Anyways, my first step is going to be to replace f of x with its function, which is 3x plus 2. We want this to be a true statement. If you combine some like terms, we get that 3x plus 12 should be less than epsilon. Now keep in mind the goal is you eventually would like to see an x plus 4. That'll tell you what the delta has to be. Over here, I see I can factor a 3 out from both terms. So this is 3 times x plus, and that must be a 4 left over. So we're definitely heading in the right direction. Here, you can take the absolute value of the 3 and this part separately. So you can think of this as the absolute value of 3 times the absolute value of x plus 4. That should be less than epsilon. I'll continue my work up here. Since 3 and the absolute value of 3 are the same, I'll replace the absolute value of 3 with simply the number 3, and I'll copy down x plus 4. This should be less than epsilon. And to solve for x plus 4 in absolute value, I can divide 3 to the other side of this inequality. It will not change the direction of the inequality because 3 is a positive number. So maybe for emphasis, I'll add in that I'm really just dividing both sides by 3. The 3's over here cancel. That being said, we get x plus 4 is less than epsilon over 3. And from this spot, we can read off the delta. So what is delta? This is delta. This is what makes it match up with this part of the expression here. X plus 4 is less than something. Well, this something is your delta. The final answer is delta should be set equal to epsilon divided by 3. So just a quick recap here. Because the limit was equal to negative 10, that's the reason it was plus 10 instead of minus 10. The idea being, if you put a negative 10 here, it makes this expression 0. The reason that this was an x plus 4 instead of a minus 4 is because if you were to put negative 4 in place of this x, it makes the expression 0. With that all being said, this is the final answer of epsilon over 3.